What is going on, YouTube? This is Captain Calhoun, and you are on the lifeboat. Good morning. Happy Thanksgiving. How you guys doing? Nana C, I see you. Thank you so much for your support. You are Soul, Beverly, Charlie Mullins, Jason P, Kristen, Melinda. Good to see you guys. Diane Reese, hello, hello. Kate Christie, welcome in from work. I won't tell anyone, I promise. What's going on, guys? It's a beautiful morning this morning. I feel good. John Newby, hello, hello. Toby Sprosty, hello, hello. What's going on, guys? Jeremy, always a pleasure. Yeah, yeah. Piper Lynn, hello, hello. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving. I hope that hope everyone's day is fabulous. I hope everyone gets to spend some good quality time with their loved ones. That's what today is all about. I am feeling the gratitude at an all-time high today. I tell you what. Yeah. I don't have anything specific that I want to talk about. I figured we would just come on and hang out today because it's Thanksgiving, right? We don't need to work too hard. Today's about relaxing. But if there was one thing we could talk about today, I guess it would be gratitude and like being good to yourself, right? If you're like me, you definitely beat yourself up pretty darn good, when mistakes are made and this, that, and the other. And I don't think we deserve that very much, especially from ourselves, especially on a day like today. So, show yourself some grace today. Um, and we have so many things to be grateful for, right? I tell you what, the power of gratitude is amazing. Layla Bradley, hello, hello. Twisted Sister, what's going on? Lisa Tarimbo. Allison Metcalf Palumbo, hello. Dory, good to see you guys. Welcome aboard. What are what's everyone's Thanksgiving plans? I almost said Halloween. Tommy Bird, what's going on, brother? Good morning. I'm going to meet up with the family later today. Dad's still not feeling super great. But yeah, we're going to, I assume later today, like afternoon, early evening, something like that. So got a quiet morning, and then we're going to have some rambunctious family time a little bit later. I'm excited to see what we eat. I haven't had Thanksgiving with this side of the family in many, many years. So I'm very excited. This is my Italian side of the family, so I'm curious. I don't think that we're going to have anything Italian, but that's okay. Maybe we will. Who knows? Jeremy Fowler, what's going on? Kevin Hawthorne, Annika, hello, hello. Who's doing the cooking in my family? I wonder. Probably Mama Scoville and Sister Scoville, I would imagine. I would imagine. If I get over there early, I could help, but I'm pretty sure that they have all of their stuff lined up already. What about you, Layla? Are you the cook in your family? Allison says, just hubby and me, small but tasty traditional Thanksgiving meal. The size isn't always what matters. I tell you what, it's the quality of the company, it's the quality of the time we spend, right? It's the friends we made along the way. How's Tommy's back doing? Not super great, Twisted Sister. I spoke to him this morning, and I think that he was still kind of napping, but he didn't sound any better to me, to be honest. We did not speak for very long. Mother Bird, hello, hello, KC. Lasagna today for us. I love lasagna, one of my favorite dishes. I bet you, I wouldn't be surprised if we had lasagna. We've got some pretty famous lasagna recipes going around over here. Jeremy says, I can't eat, but I'm really good. Or pardon me, I can't cook, but I'm really good at eating. I tell you what, I'm also really good. That's I would say one of my highest level skills. It's eating for sure. I've been eating my whole life, I'm getting pretty good at it. Good morning, Cindy G. A little late, double time. Happy Turkey Day, everyone in the USA. Anywhere else doing today? Was Turkey Day yesterday for a lot of other places? I got that feeling yesterday. Willow Wren, hello, hello. Homemade meatballs, sausages, chicken parm, and pies at my brother's. Wow, the Italian food on Thanksgiving is really making the rounds. That's cool. I like that. Lasagna is just classic, man. And I mean, everything on this list is among my favorite foods. Chicken parm is definitely one of my favorite dishes of all time. I make a killer chicken parm. One day I'll have to do a little cooking episode. I can show you guys how I make a good chicken parm. You got to beat the chicken up just a little bit. You don't want to destroy it, but you want it real thin so it toasts up real good, fries up real good. If I had a salamander, I think that's what they're called. It's like an oven with like a track on it. They have one at Quiznos and they have them in nice restaurants, but it like evenly cooks the top and the bottom as it rolls through, and that would melt the cheese optimally. But I don't have a salamander. I'm probably not going to have one, so we use the broiler to get the cheese proper. Lasagna is fun to make, says Tommy Bird. Dude, it looks so complicated to me. I should pay a little attention one of these times when it's being made so I can learn about it because it looks frightfully complicated. Brianna Miller, hello, hello. I have not seen Flick Fox yet, but I imagine they'll show up. It's not very frequently that Flick doesn't show up, I have to say. Oh, speaking of, I have coffee here as well, Twisted Sister. Thanks for reminding me. Please hold. How you doing, Charlie? It's been a little while, man. It's good to see you, brother. Sanitarium Radio, hello, hello. Heck yeah, guys. You know what? I'll tell you what I'm grateful for today. I'm grateful for this delicious coffee. I got this coffee across the street there's a restaurant called Quesadillas, and they have the most wonderful Sonoran hot dogs, which is a hot dog wrapped in bacon with all the fixins on it. I'm not entirely sure what the fixins are. I think it's chopped tomato with like some mustard and mayo or something like that. I might be missing something, but it's fantastic in like a special bun. But I always go over there for the hot dogs. I saw some coffee over there. I was running out, and this stuff is really good. I mean, most of the coffee that I drink is really good, but today I'm grateful for this fantastic coffee. My relationship with my family. I have a big family. I was adopted. I have lots of different sides of the family, right? And today I have a wonderful relationship with everyone in the family, which was not always the case. That's a big milestone for me. It's been really hard for me to find a way to coexist and be a part of the family sometimes, right? So that's a huge milestone. Valerie 102, happy Thanksgiving, yo. Good to see you. I'm in and out, but love to you, Spanx. And those I know, and even those I don't. Well, love to you, Valerie. I'm glad to see you. I hope everything's well. I hope you get to eat plenty of turkey and put those feet up and leave them there today. You know what I mean? Just a bunch of R&R all day long. Those are my favorite days. If I didn't have responsibilities or ambitions, or if I didn't need to do things to be a sane, like normal, feeling good kind of person, I wouldn't do anything. I really like being a lump. I tell you what, couch potato is my middle name. Not really though. I spend a lot of time being busy, but in my heart, I just want to sit there and do nothing. Sidetracked, searching for a cigarette. Good to see you, man. I hope everything's well. Haven't seen you in a little while. Welcome back. Been thinking of you, actually, to be quite honest. I think you have another account that I see sometimes, don't I? I always get confused. There's so many faces. But either way, yeah, end of musing. Okay, so we have seen you recently. It's good to see you again, man. Always, always good. How are things? How is life treating you on this Thursday? On this Thursday, Kit Kat. I was doing a gratitude list, wasn't I? But yeah, the family thing is big. I've struggled with family a lot. And a lot of that is my own fault, honestly. I mean, I don't know if time machines were real and not a fantasy, I don't know if it would benefit me to go back in time. It might have just gone, that might have just been what needed to happen. But it was definitely a rough road with the family. And again, I have a big family, right? So I feel like it wasn't like I had a hard time with everyone at the same time. Like I took turns having a hard time with different members of the family, and all for different reasons, right? That I felt very justified about, and maybe I was, or maybe I wasn't. Who knows? It doesn't really matter though, because what matters is we have a beautiful relationship now. The path has been paved, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for you guys. I tell you what, I'm grateful for the boat. Uh, This is how I start my mornings. And I don't think that my life at all would be anything like this without the boat. I don't think not just my mornings, not just like the tone for my day, but like literally the life that I'm living. I don't think the way that I feel, right? Everything about my life, I think, is bolstered by the activity of the boat. And I just appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for being here. I love you guys. Mother Bird, that's a real heavy movie for today. I mean, I guess it could go along with gratitude, right? I could see that. I could definitely see that. When that movie first came out, I remember it was like a topic of conversation in my family, and I was like, "I want to see it," and they were like, "No." They were like, "I don't think so." Um, but I have since seen that movie. It's a rough watch. Kristen Melinda is pretty grateful. Ooh, it skipped away. Krista Melinda's pretty grateful for my home, family, dog, especially the 5-year-old human who just inexplicably went tearing down the hallway at top speed. Do you guys have any hardwood floors? If you do, the little man's gonna leave little track marks with his little sneakers at some point. He sounds just like me. I'm sure I've said that a million times, but my grandma used to make me go around with a rag and kind of like rub out my little sneaker marks in the house because I just didn't walk anywhere. I was not a slow. I was a runner. I was swift. We do. It's all hardwood except the bedrooms. Well, that'll be fun. He's like a little race car human, just getting everywhere. I mean, I don't. If I think about it, I don't know if I can remember very well, but I just felt like this sense of urgency, right? I could be doing something awesome right now. I just have to be in this other place, right? So I would run. I would run to the next activity, the next whatever, right? The next experience, because everything was novel. Literally everything that I did was a novel experience. I just couldn't wait to get to the next excitement, the next thing, the next conversation, the next whatever. So I ran everywhere. I imagine tuna on pizza. What are we doing? What are we doing, guys? Come on, come on. Are you serious? I mean, I guess sardines are a pizza thing, huh? Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. I think that's more up my alley, Kristen. 100%. 100%. I'm very sensitive and like emotional. If I were to watch The Passion today, it might very much affect me. I don't know if it would be a good or bad effect, but it would be an effect. Change some things inside my head for sure. This is the 5th year without seeing my family, says Sidetracked for a Cigarette. Is that a by choice thing? Do you feel like Sharon, man? You don't have to, but I am curious. I'd like to know. Because I feel like this kind of thing could go either way, 50-50, right? You're either, it's a good thing. I'm not spending time with my family because it doesn't end well, right? Or, they've estranged me because of some, judgment or something, right? I think that very distinctly different ways that could play out. I hope that well, I'm glad you're here, I'm glad you're here with the family you choose, you know what I mean? Um, Spanx, this is what Flick and I have been fighting about all morning. Thanks for taking my side. That's funny. I didn't realize you guys were fighting about tuna on pizza. I didn't intend to take sides, but I don't I love tuna, but not on my pizza. I'll have pineapple on pizza. I'll have pretty much anything on a pizza. But even like hot sauce, chicken, weird stuff, right? Those things don't really belong on a pizza. But tuna? Where's Flick Fox? Would you would you like to explain this to me? Tell me, regale me about the benefits of tuna on pizza. I can't not smile right now. I was a tad lonely until I boarded the boat. Well, welcome aboard, James Collins. Also, good to see you, man. Listening along while I do the chores. I wish I could do the chores and bring you guys with me. Maybe I could get like an arm that comes off of like a helmet that has a GoPro and a microphone, and I can like kind of go around and do stuff, and you guys can hang out with me. But I don't. That might look funny. That would be really cool though. I would like to I function a lot better while I'm having a conversation. I don't know why that is. Sometimes I'll call Takara and we'll just talk on the phone while we do chores. Although my microphone seems to be especially irritating when I turn the water on and try to do dishes. So it doesn't always work, but for some reason my brain focuses a lot better while it's focusing on something else for some reason. Valerie, do you have any friendsgivings going on around you? I know in Salt Lake, this was a common thing. A lot of folks didn't have the opportunity to be with their families for whatever reason. So we would all get together and kind of cook together and hang out and eat. I mean, back then I was smoking too, so there was a lot of celebratory behavior, among friends. Kit Kat says tuna belongs between bread. I must, I must know. I must know about the tuna. Choice not to see my mom, but I miss my dad and nieces. I had finally decided I could not relapse seeing my mom and ex. Trauma, but miss dad and niece. Massive. And he's 78. So are your mom and your dad still together? And do they must live near your ex or something like that? This this sucks. I don't mean to laugh. I was trying to come up with something better to say, but no, this just kind of sucks, man. I'm sorry to hear all this. Let's get some ones up. I haven't done this yet today, which is strange. This is like my go-to. Let's put some ones up for Sidetracked, for anyone else out there, for Valerie, anyone else out there that needs a little extra love. Um, we're thinking of you guys. There's the family you're born with, and then there's also the family you get to choose, right? Which are your friends. So we're thinking of you. Hopefully, you don't have to spend the whole day alone, huh? Hopefully, you can have some sort of company, some sort of quality time. Thanks, guys. Happy Turkey Day, Dale. Good to see you, man. You're working retail on Black Friday, Jeremy? Oh no. Oh no. Bro, you gotta come to work with like a fake scar like right through your eye, like one of those like cosmetic like rubber things from the movies, like they have in the South Park episode, and just be like really, really serious that day. Like, it might be the last day you live. I think there might be some humans in the store that will appreciate the RP, the role play. I'm big into role play myself. I actually recently repicked up Baldur's Gate 3. I've played a ridiculous amount of that game. Um, I'm not going to tell you how many hours because I don't know off the top of my head, but it's an embarrassing amount of hours spent playing that game. And I guess I must have missed something because I'm like a binger. I'll like discover something and I'll just eat it up until like I get sick of it. It makes me sick, like literally. So I'll put it aside. That's what I did with Baldur's Gate. And then I recently was looking at something. I don't know how I figured it out, but I realized that they've come out with mods. For those that don't game, a mod is like a game will come out, and then someone in the community that likes to play games, just a gamer, like not the company that made the game, will like mess with the game. They'll like add stuff to the game. They'll change things in the game, right? Because people are really smart and they figure out how to like edit code. And I don't know, that's way above my pay grade, but suffice it to say, there's a bunch of mods out. The modding is what you call that, changing stuff in an already released game. Um, the modding community is on fire. So now, like all this stuff, Dungeons and Dragons is what Baldur's Gate is based on, and that's a huge amount of information, huge rules. Like it's a game that's evolved over many, 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 many years, right? Baldur's Gate 3 is based on that, but they, I mean, only spent a number, like much less years making that game, right? So you can't put everything from D&D into the game. But now the modding community pretty much, I mean, before the game is done being played, everything from D&D is going to be in the game. I mean, they've made massive strides. Today I made, or not today, yesterday I made an artificer, which is, I guess, kind of like a tinker. He like builds stuff and like he builds like magic devices. He's like a tinker and a wizard, like kind of put together. And his whole thing is he gets an eldritch cannon. I get to summon a like a magical eldritch space cannon, which is pretty ridiculous. I'm excited. I'm very excited for all the new role playing that I'll get to do as an engineer. That's what I think of it as. Layla Bradley says, Spanks, your dad was reminiscing about buying you Crash Bandicoot yesterday. Literally one of the best games of all time. I remember that game. I played probably more Crash Bandicoot than any other game I've ever played. And like, mind you, I've spent like 600 hours playing Elden Ring. Like I am a complete degenerate sometimes when it comes to video games. But I probably put more than that into Crash Bandicoot. That was this probably the single best game buy of all time. Shout out to my dad. I think the first one I had was number two, Crash Bandicoot something Cortex, Crash of Cortex, Fall of Cortex. I can't remember. All the names would blend together, but that one was so good. I remember the first boss was like a pogo stick guy, and like his pogo stick would like blow stuff up. Or maybe I was just mixing the nitro boxes up. The animations in that game were just so silly. It was like a platformer, right? So there's like ice surfaces that'll make you slide around. There's like traps, like rocks will fall and crush you, and you have to like time your walk through so you don't get crushed. But when you would screw things up, like let's say I get crushed, it would make you a flat bandicoot with like little feet poking out and eyeballs. You're basically feet and eyeballs, and you would kind of like do a little pitter patter and then respawn. The animations in that game were just so silly. There was a nitro box, which would basically, if you touched it, it would explode you, and you would evaporate into a cloud of smoke, and then your eyes would go boo, and then it would kind of like land on the ground and bounce a little. It would basically destroy everything except your eyeballs. It's kind of a silly game. Very fun though. Very very fun. And his attack, the way he attacks stuff, he would spin around and just kind of like whip his arms around like a silly guy. I still have Skyrim. I've played Skyrim recently too. That game has aged so well. It's still a classic. Still a classic. You know that this series of games, Elder Scrolls or whatever, is like it goes back to MS DOS. It was one of the first. When I say one of the first, that's probably not true, but it's a very, very, very old game. And Skyrim's the fifth game in the series, I guess. And they take like many, many years to produce those games. That's why they're so quality. They like just really, really take their time. The next one has been announced. I believe it's called Redguard, or no, maybe Hammerfall. Anyways, it's in Hammerfall, which is like the continent or the region, and that's where the Redguard, which are the black people in the Skyrim universe, they're called Redguards. And they're all from Hammerfall. So the next one's going to be over there, and they've been developing it for like 3 or 4 years already. We have zero media about it. There's no footage. It's probably going to be another 5 or 10 years before that one comes out, but it's going to be sweet. I remember MS-DOS. That was in my lifetime, but I was a child. I remember learning a couple things with my grandpa back when we were using joysticks for the X-Wing fighter. Deviled eggs made and in the fridge for later. I can't wait. I'm sure we're gonna have some of these at the gathering. This is a family classic for sure. Every side of my family does deviled eggs, which is interesting. It's popular. It's plopping. Now to make the glaze for the ham. Your Thanksgiving sounds delicious, Allison. I getting me a little hungry. Have you ever played Psychonauts? No, but I feel like that sounds familiar. Now I want to look it up. This is also a term referring to someone that's very, very into hallucinogens. Excuse me, Psychonaut. I have not played this game. but I'm checking it out right this second. Rasputin, a boy gifted with psychic abilities who runs away from a circus to join a summer camp for those with similar abilities. Ooh, I love that plot, I have to say. I want to see images of the gameplay. Where's that at? Maybe I have to hit images. That would probably help, huh? Ooh, this looks like a platformer very similar to Bandicoot. There were so many good platformers back in the day, guys. I wasn't big into Jack and Daxter, or what was the other one that was kind of like that? There was like another duo platformer, but I wasn't into either of those very much, but they were epic, right? Epic platformers. I was pretty much out of the platformy feel after Crash Bandicoot. I played my platforming into the ground with Crash Bandicoot. Have a great day, Twisted Sister. Toe Jam and Earl. Oh my gosh. I haven't thought about this in ages, dude. Holy crap. You remember Earthworm Jim? That was one of my favorites as well. Or Worms. Worms was pretty good. Lol, Toe Jam and Earl. This brings me back, dude. Holy crap. Level 2. Yeah, old video games, man. Kelly Ann has some wonderful words for us today, guys. People who live the most fulfilling lives are the ones who are always rejoicing at what they have. Gratitude. I tell you what. Thank you for that, Kelly Ann. I appreciate you so much. I'm scrolling up because there's all this conversation about things that I'm really into. Cindy G says D&D and Pathfinder here, first edition of D&D, still about weekly game in the household. Wow, that's so cool. Spanx, there's a website for meeting people to play with online. Ask a kiddo for info if need. I will definitely do so. I don't know if I'm prepared to be getting into campaigns right this second, but I have been looking forward to getting like a community around me that I can play D&D with for a long time, or Pathfinder. Either way, I'm definitely down either way. Um, I also have a Pathfinder's game on my Steam. I believe it's called Path of the Righteous. It's a little bit older, um, and I'm still stuck on Baldur's Gate. So I haven't gone and played it too much, but I did make a Cavalier when I started playing it, and I had just gotten to the point where I could like start writing stuff, and I had just gotten a dragon familiar or a dragon pet, but it's a baby, so I have to make it grow up. I have to like get it all leveled up and big so I can ride the dragon. That's going to be cool. But I put that game down and haven't picked it up basically right at that point. So whenever I do get back to it, I'm going to be a dragon rider because that's literally the coolest thing I could possibly think of. You know. 30 years ago. Wow. Is it really that old? That's crazy. That's great. It's I'm just barely older than it then. All right, I'm getting back. I'm scrolling back down, guys. Scrolling. The Sega Genesis had some bangers, didn't it, Tommy? The boxing game for the Sega Genesis was epic. I think it was called like Knockout Round Two or something like that. My uncle had it. My mom's brother. My uncle showed me a couple games way back in the day that I was really into. That was one of them. That Knockout game, the Toe Jam and Earl, and then Perfect Dark for the N64. That was the best shooter back in the day. I loved that game. There was like this alien aspect to the plot. Basically, you were a secret agent for in this fictional universe, right? It's like a modern setting, so like nothing too crazy, but we're having interactions with aliens. One of our first missions is to like go rescue this. I can't remember what it calls it, but it ends up being an alien, and he calls himself Elvis, and he wears sneakers. He's butt naked because he's like a stereotypical Martian. He's like about this tall. His head's about this big, and he's butt naked. He doesn't have any organs or anything down there, but he does have sneakers on. He's kind of a hip alien, a hip Martian. But turns out the Martians are cool. They're actually running away from this other alien race that's not cool called the Sketter, and they kind of look like alien dinosaurs. Super mean, super intelligent. Um, and the plot goes, yeah, intertwines with aliens, and then you get to use the alien guns. And I have to say, some of the guns that the aliens have are so cool. There was a sniper rifle called the Farsight, and if you when you zoomed in, it wouldn't give you like a normal scope. Like it was like a multicolored infrared spectrum that could see through walls. So you could basically shoot people through walls if you could just find them. If you could find like a safe space to like kind of just look through your scope and find people, you could just kill them. It was absolutely ridiculous. I used to love playing as the Elvis character in multiplayer, but then I found out one day that like where your reticle sits for your gun, like just regular when you're running around like without moving it at all, where it sits is head level for the Martian. So that's why I was getting killed all the time because I have this giant head hitbox and it's like gun level for everyone else. So I stopped playing as the Martian. Krista Melinda says, "Are you too young for Super Mario Kart 64, Captain? My brother and I got into incredibly intense battles on that game." Absolutely not. In fact, Tony, uh, my good buddy that's no longer with us, we used to play Super Nintendo Super Mario Kart back in the day. So I'm definitely very versed in the kart of Mario. But we were big fans. Like the older the Mario Kart, the more into it we were. At least in that circle. Also, those were the folks that I would play D&D with back in the day. Why didn't the turkey eat dinner? He was already stuffed. That was pretty good. That made me laugh. Rocket Knight Adventures. I don't know about this one. Layla says my brother put an amazing emulator onto my PC. Now I can play all the old Nintendo, Wii, Sega, PlayStation games. It's crazy how far emulators have come. Like computers are so powerful now that we can fake emulate, right? That's what that is. It's like pretending you can make your computer pretend to be an old console basically because the computer is so much more powerful than that technology, right? It's so much more capable. And every year we can emulate like newer and newer stuff. Like I'm pretty sure you can emulate like GameCube. I'm pretty sure you can emulate PlayStation 2. Like I'm pretty sure we're getting pretty up there. And I haven't checked the emulating community stuff out in a very long time, so I'm not entirely sure what the cutting edge is. But I remember when PlayStation 1 was like a difficult emulation. But now look, you're saying you've got the Wii emulation. That's pretty high tech. It's pretty cool stuff. It's pretty cool stuff, I have to say. I was uh I was gonna get my sister set up with Dolphin, but like I was gonna load it onto a device that I was gonna have my buddy build for her, and I was just gonna load it with every Zelda game that was ever made. Uh, but I didn't get that done. I think that would be the coolest friggin' thing though, because my buddy's like a super genius tinker. I don't know how else to say that. I feel like tinker doesn't do it justice. He's just like if we were in the world of D&D, he would be the artificer. My buddy Jake. You guys know Jake. He came in and said what's up the other day, but I was gonna commission Jake to build a little emulation machine for my sister that just had all the Zelda games loaded on it, and I haven't done it yet, but don't tell her. I would still like to make a gift of that to her one day. Banjo Kazooie. Banjo Tooie was one of my favorite games of all time, Brianna, for sure. I remember there was a quest you could do, or I don't know if it was a quest, it didn't really portray it that way, but there was like a secret you could find that would turn Kazooie into a dragon, which didn't change a ton of stuff, but he could breathe fire after that. And I thought that was the coolest thing. In Super Smash Bros. And in like the most recent Super Smash, Banjo Kazooie is one of my go-to characters. I love how he grabs Kazooie out of his backpack by the ankle and uses him like a baseball bat to slap people around. So great. John Newby, what cards are we talking about? I missed it. Time Twister. Are we talking? I'm gonna scroll up and find out. Uh-oh. My browser has lost connection to my camera. What does that even mean? You can click the camera button to try again, okay? Strange. A little ghost in the shell this morning, guys. Snake on the Nokia was fire. I remember when they started coming out with games on the phones. My dad had a Palm Pilot, and I would bug the crap out of him to play games on his Palm Pilot. What was I just thinking? Oh, cards. We're talking about cards. I used to be really into all kinds of different card games. Oh, you're talking about Magic. Jason's got the Black Lotus, huh? Wild. I heard that they're really going to start producing out of the box Magic cards, like stuff from other universes and stuff, which really kind of bummed me out. I've got a ton of Magic cards in my bedroom. Not gonna lie, I've got a Golgari Lich Lord commander deck that I bust out from time to time. Gerard, the Golgari Lich Lord. Yeah, Jason P. I've had this experience as well today. The first person to wish me a happy Thanksgiving today, Reese. I love her. She is such a sweet human. That's how I feel about that. Shout out to Reese. Happy Thanksgiving. That was so sweet. I don't have all the numbers from my old phone, and my contacts didn't transfer. So I've been receiving lots of communications from people that I don't know who they are. So I had to, be like, who is this? And I thought it was some of my family in Texas, but it was Reese. I was like, oh, I was so pleasantly surprised. I was like, oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. That brightened my day up, made me smile real big. Isn't Commander a format that was like fan made? Pretty sure. One time I was accidentally turned into one of her mods for about 50 seconds. It was hilarious. I hope she has the best day today. New phone, who dis? That's right. That's right. Except I tried to be nicer than that, because it's definitely it's someone that knows me and loves me, right? So it's like they're like, "Happy Thanksgiving! I love you. I hope you have the best day." And I'm like, "Who dis? New phone." Ready to season the day, yo. You and me both, Kellyanne. I tell you what, I'm ready to dance around a little bit. I think. Today I think I'm going to treat myself to some extra stretching. I worked out wonderfully yesterday, and today I just feel a little stiff. So I think I'm going to stretch it out. Maybe I'll get in the hot tub right before I go see the family. So I'm just of optimal. I'm like the optimal Michael, right? I'm as Michael as Michael could possibly be. I'm going to just be in the best headspace, so relaxed, happy, joyful, grateful. I'm going to probably do a bunch of self care and do nice things for myself before I meet up with the family. So I'm just glowing. So I'm glowing. In Game of Thrones, when they say they're washing themselves and they're scrubbing until I can't remember the words that he uses, but the imagery he uses for such mundane things like they scrubbed until the skin was red. I'm gonna scrub until I glow. I'm gonna glow so hard today. New phone who dis is definitely my favorite version of this, Jeremy. It's pretty funny. I thought about saying that, but I figured I didn't think it would show respect, you know? And I figured whoever was hitting me up deserved a little. Kelly Kellyanne says hot tub will make you even more chill. Not that I needed any help in that department, right? But I do. Deserve some relax today, huh? Purge me with the hiccup. What are you gonna get done, James? James says I booked another tattoo appointment. I've been meaning to get my goat filled in, and it's just not on the priority list right now. You know, you dear. Happy Thanksgiving. Good to see you. Couldn't be that rude. That is funny. Rock Bandy, hello, hello. Happy Thanksgiving, dude. Good to see you, man. Gaslit. Happy Turkey Day. My brain just moves so fast. I can't help but keep up, Cindy. If I wasn't reading all of this stuff, my brain would just be doing something else really fast. Well, I hope you get some help in the kitchen, Annika. Annika says I look like a crazy person right now trying to juggle all these food dishes alone. Still rocking the bedhead. Yeah, we need to get you a little assistant, you know? Go do this, go do that. I have a chair. I eat sprouts. I love sprouts. I had some Brussels sprouts, which are I think that's a little bit different than what you're talking about, but I had Brussels sprouts the other day and I forgot how much I loved Brussels as well. I like sprouts on I forget what sandwich it was. There was a sandwich I used to get at a restaurant in Salt Lake that came with sprouts on it. So good. So good. Although you can definitely overdo the sprouts. They can like overtake stuff. Yeah, Brussels sprouts, you have to do them right. If you roast them in the oven, they're usually pretty good. Um, at the White Horse, we used to deep fry them. Holy crap! And then we would put this sauce on them. Good lord, good lord! The sauce was like it was like soy sauce, a bunch of sugar, and something else. And then there was also the dino sauce. I forget what the dino sauce was, like mayonnaise and something else. But I know that doesn't sound great because I'm missing ingredients, but the way that they do it, just I could literally eat three of those and just fill up on Brussels. Not necessarily the best for you, I imagine, with all that sugar, but hot sauce. Let me tell you something you might not know about me, Joe Rogan. I smoke rocks. Hot sauce. Shout out to Dave Chappelle. Funny guy. You know, James, the Brussels sprouts at the what is it called at the White Horse Spirits and Kitchen. They do this and they call the bacon bits lardons. I guess that's a fancy French way of saying bacon chunks. And what they do is they make their own bacon and their own this, that, and the other out of pork belly. They'll smoke pork belly and then slice it up. And we make the lardons out of the sometimes well, not sometimes, usually you end up with some odd sized chunks at the end and you kind of chunk those up into lardons and then you fry them with the Brussels sprouts and assorted other things that come with lardon. Very nice, very delicious, very ridiculous. Also, fun fact, guys, if you're frying up asparagus, right? I don't know. Some people do that. Some people fry asparagus. I'm one of them. But if you're frying up some asparagus, the next time you're doing so, when you're done, and you turn that burner off, um, turn the heat off, right, and then sprinkle just a little bit of Parmesan. You don't really want like a coating. You just want little chunks of Parmesan kind of sprinkled throughout, right? And don't let it melt. You don't want it sticky. That's why you turn the heat off. You do a little bit of sprinkle and then fucking take it off. Pardon my language. And you take it off real quick. And it's wonderful. It sounds strange. I know it sounds strange. We're kind of mixing Italian with continental here, but I can't recommend this enough. If you do it right, the cheese doesn't melt. It just kind of like changes form a little bit, and it's just, it's so crazy good. Bacon wrapped asparagus. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's food day, guys. This is gonna be the remainder of our show. We're gonna talk about food. I pick wild asparagus in early May here in Ontario. That's way cool, James. I am definitely jealous. True Crime Boozer, hello, hello. Watching from Paris here. Just bought a pack of Lardons today. Great with eggs. Good to see you, True Crime. Welcome aboard. Yeah, Lardons are just ridiculously good. I could eat Lardons with anything, I feel like. I used to, honestly, when I cooked at the White Horse, I would eat Lardons by themselves. I definitely would. I just heard a strange sound. I forgot there were headphones in my ears. The music is so quiet. Chicken parm is one of my favorite dishes of all time, dude. I make a mean chicken parm. Oh, lardons are basically bacon chunks. I was introduced to this idea when I worked at the White Horse, which is a restaurant in Salt Lake, and we would slice our bacon out of pork bellies, which is big old chunks of pork, right? Um, and then the odd sizes when you finish slicing, they don't all turn out like perfectly nice slices. You end up with some odd sized chunks. We would chop those up into like little bacon chunks, right? Like the bacon bits you buy at the store, except they're bigger, meatier. They're real, They're legit bacon bits. They're not dry and crunchy. They're just they're just amazing. How is Tommy's back this morning? Asks Yadira. I don't think very good. I spoke to him this morning and he sounded like he was still resting. So I don't really know, but if he's still resting, I'm sure that he needs it, right? So I don't think he's doing too hot. Captain, my door is always open. I live about an hour and 20 minutes from Ottawa Airport. You should come visit 2025 summer. I would love that. I would love that so friggin' much, dude. And that is a plan that will be made in the future, 100%. When I first started doing this thing, that was one of the things that I originally intended to do was kind of like meet up with people from the boat, right? From all over the place, kind of travel, right? Take this thing around. Um, I don't exactly know what that's going to take, but we're headed in that direction, right? I'm going to stay the course, and these kind of things will be able to become real. Under pressure. If he talks to Q today, send our love to him. I definitely will, Lacey. Thank you for always thinking of him. Q, shout out to Q. Thanks for saving my dad, man. Yeah, we have a lot of our Ontario boaters. We have a lot of Canadian boaters. Shout out to Izzy. I hope she's having a wonderful day. I haven't heard from her in a while. I reached out the other day and she didn't get back to me. I hope she's okay. I'm sure she is. But a man worries about his friends. If anyone gets the chance to talk to Izzy, um, send her my love, please. Yeah, without Q, we would not have my dad. That is correct. I was thinking last night about my dad getting stabbed and how somehow he's still here doing the thing. Super proud of him. Super lucky, grateful. I don't know what the right words are, but I'm just overwhelmed with gratitude. I can cook rice, Helen. It's a little bit tricky, but once you get it down, it's pretty simple. I know that the last time I spoke with Izzy, things were picking up as far as like busy, like stuff, like she was having lots of stuff to do, and that's why she hasn't been around and whatnot. Starting a new job, and there was some other things going on. So I think she's well, but I haven't spoken to her. I don't have any reason to believe that things aren't well. I'm sure she's just conquering life. She's kicking butt, taking names, making lists, checking it twice. Kristen Melinda, thank you for your never ending support. You're so sweet. Grateful for finding TLB and for you all. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Yeah, I hope everyone has the best Thanksgiving today. Give your families my best, right? And on that note, I might go treat myself to some breakfast, huh? He is meant to be here, says Robin Miners. That is facts right there. Facts. I needed him. Pardon me, I need him. I'm not done. I'm not done with him yet. You know what I mean? And that's a pretty selfish sentiment, but I don't think that that's where the sentiments end. I think that a lot of people need him, not just me. So I'm going to go ahead and tell him that today because I think that hearing stuff like that's good for him. My sixth Christmas alone, but it is what it is. Right? Acceptance, huh? It may not be awesome, but it is what we have, right? So we're going to make it as awesome as we can. We're going to make the best of what we got, huh? I'm sorry that that's the case, Helen, but I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're hanging out with us. And I'm glad you've got a positive mindset about it, right? Perspective is everything. What's for breakfast, Esperana? I think I'm going to make cheesy eggs today. I really don't have a vast breakfast repertoire, but I haven't had cheesy eggs in a while. So I think today's the day. I would like to expand my breakfast horizons, though. So if anyone on the boat does have wonderful, or just wonderful or not wonderful, whatever, if anyone on the boat has breakfast recipes that they'd like to share with me, I would love that. And then I can cook it up, maybe make a video about it, right? Share it with you, at least take photos of the finished product if it looks great, right? What kind of cheese? I have the Costco, I believe it's a Mexican blend or something like that. So it's like 4 different kinds of shredded cheese that I'm gonna sprinkle on my scrambled eggs. What type of breakfast do I like? Yo, I'm kind of a goat. I just eat stuff. I just eat food. I really, really like food. And there's not a lot of foods that I don't like. So I think it's more likely, I think it's less likely that you come up with a recipe that I'm not gonna like. Um, but if you do come up with a recipe that I don't like, I have no problem saying like, I also have no problem trying it. I'll try anything twice, especially food. Like I'm down. Maybe I missed something the first time. You know what I mean? Like I'm pretty open with food. So don't think about it like that. Send me what makes you happy and like what's classic in your family or something that really lights your fire, and then we can like kind of bond about it. We can relate. Eggs Benedict is one of the best breakfast dishes of all time. I'm having meatloaf with green beans and sunny D. Dude, that sounds delicious but odd. Green beans and meatloaf and sunny D are three things I love. I don't know if I've ever had them together. Meatloaf and green beans for sure, though. I would try the tuna on the pizza. Just as a rule, I got to try it. I mean, I don't have to try that, but if it's like on the table, if that's what we're trying, I'm down. I'm not going to go out of my way to make tuna on pizza, though. That's for sure. Your palate changes as you get older. Still hate olives, though. I think it's like every 7 years, your taste buds like redo or regrow or something. They change. I always make sure to retry stuff. A yellow bean guy. I've never had the yellow variety, huh? Yeah, because maybe I did something wrong the first time, Christy. You never know. Maybe I screwed it up the first time. It's an Italian thing. Pizza is Italian. Pizza, and original pizza was like toasted bread, maybe with some cheese on it, some herbs. Tuna and banana is a British classic. I feel like you're pulling my leg. There's no way people eat that. I feel like that's tuna melts with lots of cheese. Oh, we're just going to talk about food feed. That sounds so good to me that my words don't fit right in my mouth. Liver is definitely one of the things I'm not a big fan of. I have tried it more than twice. This is something that my great grandma Rosemary was into. So I would try it with her a lot, actually, because I love her so much. I wanted to enjoy it with her, but it's not for me. I'll try and put the word in for you, Flick. See if I can get anything done on that, huh? It started as a joke, but caught on. Well, there must be some value to it then, huh? Chili on a lot of things. I've never thought about putting it on pizza, but chili's just its own food group, I feel like. Child Val loved black coffee and hated asparagus and salad, but adult Val takes sugar and loves asparagus and salad. Interesting. Yeah, things flip flop, don't they? Good to see you mocked. People put hollandaise sauce on pizza for some vile reason. I have to say, pizza, one of my favorite things in the whole world. Hollandaise, one of the best sauces known to man. I don't know if they go together. I don't know if they go together. That's like one of the reasons eggs Benedict is so good is the hollandaise. What about sauerkraut with a touch of salt? Just like by itself? Fantastic. In fact, you can hold the salt. I don't even need it. I will put the salt on, right? I don't think that's a big deal, but I feel like the sauerkraut that I buy is made with salt instead of vinegar. So I think the stuff I'm eating is already salted. In fact, I have some in the fridge right now. I'm a huge sauerkraut fan. Huge. I think there must be some Polish in me. It might be delicious on pizza. I have a hard time believing hollandaise is not delicious in any setting. You've never had a white sauce pizza with spinach and garlic? I definitely have. I definitely have. Making pizza for supper tonight, says Kellyanne. You have an outdoor pizza oven. The taste. Oh my. You have an outdoor pizza oven? Jealous. This is my jealous face. It's just the same as all my other faces. But I am jealous. Local breakfast cafe makes a bacon jam eggs Benedict that is to die for. I think I have to go eat, guys. I don't know how much we can do this. Help, I'm drowned in mashed potatoes. I love mashed potatoes. I'll eat you out. Wait. That was bad. That's not what I meant. I meant, yeah, you know what I meant. Good Lord, Michael. Okay, I'm gonna shut her down. You guys hit that like, subscribe, and the bell for notifications. See how red my face is gonna get? If you like what we do here, it makes a big difference. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Shout out to all your families. I'm sending you love from mine to yours. All right, let's do this again sometime soon. I'm sorry for that awkwardness. And what's today? Thursday. We'll be painting tomorrow. I'm sorry, Annika. I didn't mean it. All right, bye.